This is Hold My Stethoscope.
Hey everyone, welcome back. This is
Hi.
Hold My Stethoscope. I am Brittany and I got my girl Felicia.
Alicia. Hi, everybody.
Super happy to be back. This week, we hope you enjoyed last week's episode with Christopher Blake, talking about
Yes,
pediatrics. So this
great.
week, it is back to me and Felicia, and we're just gonna kick it and keep it real today. We're just gonna talk about our lives. So hopefully y'all like
Today,
it.
guys. I have a topic that I just kind of want to talk to everybody about. It's not anything unfamiliar. It's what we're all pretty familiar with. But I just want to know who out there is running on empty besides me. Because I swear to you, I am truly, truly running on empty. It doesn't mean that you're just tired. It's like everything. I don't know. Like, it's when you feel mentally, emotionally, and physically just done. That's that's what I feel like right now. And I don't know how many of you are feeling that way or have felt that way, but let's talk about it. All right? Let's just talk about it. That kind of tired, that sleep, it doesn't fix it. It's that kind of a tired. It's not just that you need a nap. I'm just talking about being mentally drained, being emotionally checked out, and physically exhausted all at the same time. That's what I'm talking about. I call it a combined overload is what it is. Cause I personally feel like I'm running on empty. I don't know. Like, Brittany, is that something that you
Oh my God,
feel?
so much, so freaking much. But do you feel like it's combined with kind of like your health stuff, or do you feel like it's just completely like
It's
just life?
life right
Yeah.
now. It's everything that plays a part in it. My health. You're running on this adrenaline. Like, just taking it back a little bit to my health and finding out, guys, just so you know, we're coming up on a year real soon, okay? Like, next month. But from finding out till even up until now, you're running. You're trying to get everything done to take care of this tumor in your body and hopefully get it out of your body, along with still trying to be that normal girl. Like, I don't want people to look at me as like she's sick. Like, I want it to still be like everybody looked at me like, that's Felicia. So, just run, run, run. It's still trying to work and still trying to maintain life at home. And I don't know if at this point where things are where I'm in a happier place with all of it, why do I feel emotionally, mentally, and physically drained?
Well, maybe it's almost kind of like that, like letdown where it's kind of like you've been running on fumes for so long that it's like finally just all like happened and it's really like gotten you.
Maybe it's just coming to a head, because it's not, like I said, it's not just one thing. It's everything hitting you at once, you
That's why I think
know?
it's hard too because it's definitely not just I feel like you, it's the world we're like
That's
living
why I
in
was
right now. We're
wondering.
all trying so hard to just like make it every day. Like it's just
Right.
hard, man. It's hard out there right now.
It is. And that's
So
just me saying what I feel like. For you, that could be a different combination. That's why I think it's called it's like a combined overload,
yeah.
but it's almost so draining that little things that probably shouldn't bother you
Mhm.
do,
Mhm.
or wouldn't typically bother you, they do. And it's just because you're feeling just this whole overload, like overload of just being exhausted from it all, not sleepy, exhausted. Like
It's so true because you're kind of talking about that, and we've talked about it before with like taking
uh
care of yourself. But I almost feel like you kind of feel like where it doesn't necessarily matter, like if you get enough sleep or like you could take a couple days off. Like it's your overwhelm is so much that it's like you're so far behind the 8 ball that you can't play catch up. Like,
can't play catch up. And
yeah.
it's things that probably wouldn't typically even be anything that you'd be overwhelmed or bothered with. That's what's interesting to me. It can be little things just all of a sudden so overwhelming and you've made them into big things because you're just exhausted overall. How do you get past that? Because you almost feel so drained that even in a situation, it can be as easy as walking into work and somebody asks you for something small and you're just like, I don't have anything else to give. Like in your mind, that's what you're thinking when it's really not that big of a deal. It's just not. You're just exhausted, So I'm just
So
keeping it real. Like,
what's
I
going
don't know.
yeah, what's going on though? Like talk to us. Give us a little more detail.
Don't really know. And that is probably the issue is that nothing that I am being asked of me is anything unusual. It's not. I felt like, well, maybe you need a vacation because let's think about it. Not done. I've not had a vacation, because I've been dealing with a lot. There's been no time for no vacation. So is that what it is that, you know, I need just a little break from it all? I don't know if that would change anything. I don't even know if that is the kind of burnout, draining feeling it is that you need a vacation. I'm not sure. And this is why I'm bringing it to all of you to help me because I cannot figure that out. Like, I am not sure why, at the happiest time of my life, with the news that I received, do I feel so exhausted? I don't know. That's really where I am is I just don't know why I feel so drained, because like I said, nothing in my life is should make me feel as drained as I am. I'm just, it just is. This is nothing that's not the norm for me, I guess I should say. But for some reason, I'm a little more exhausted than I would be, you know? And I don't know why. So I'm hoping that somebody can tell me something. I don't know. Something, just to be able
It
to hold it all together. It almost, believe it or not, and this might make you proud, Brittany, it almost makes you feel like you don't care, whatever, when things are presented, like you're almost like, okay, but it's because you're literally like almost like a little checked out when you would normally probably have reacted in some way, if that makes sense. That's sort of, and I know it's not just me. I've been actually hearing nurses saying this, you know. I think maybe the world feels this way for numerous reasons. I don't know. Is
oh,
this just
I
an exhausting time? I don't know.
think it is because people are having to deal with more and more and more. They kind of talked about like, our parents, grandparents, wherever we're at, had was like that stoic generation that just went to work all the time. The increase in, financial strain, the increase in, disturbance of like world peace and, all these kind of other undertakings we're all having to do to kind of be comfortable. Like people can't afford food. Like, people can't afford housing. Like, those were
I
not
know.
necessarily things, like, our parents and our grandparents had to deal with, like
Right.
and it's in that generation now where, like, people are literally worried about, like, putting food on the table
The
because
table.
a carton of milk's, like, $10 and, like,
I
eggs are out of
know.
control and just, like, everything. It's like everybody's pinching pennies. Nobody could actually enjoy life because you're just worried about taking care of the bare minimum in your life right now.
Exactly.
And we're all trying to hustle or do whatever we can to kind of keep up, but it's not good enough. Like it's just there's so much pressure on everybody right now. Like
Yeah.
that cognitive overload that we're all having is just extraordinary. I really like
Yeah,
don't
I
think
agree.
it's necessarily just you. I really think
Okay,
it's
yeah.
like it's
It's
everybody.
the
Like
world.
I'll speak for, obviously my own standpoint here is like I have my normal nurse educator job and do that.
Then your
And
side.
I just would say I definitely used to go way above and beyond and I burn myself out doing that. So now I'm just,
Right.
going in and doing my job and I still do it well, but I can't give that anymore to myself. But my financial situation hasn't changed. Like, I'm not getting any more money, like, you know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, and the
No,
world's
I know
gotten more
exactly
expensive.
what you mean. I know
Yeah,
exactly what you mean, and
so I'm
that
like,
does.
I'm working even more. I work as a clinical adjunct instructor, I have my own business. I'm trying to keep up with everybody on social media and growing that presence and, like, just started doing some, like, real estate deals. So I feel like I'm always being pulled in a lot of different directions too, and, like, I don't even know, like, necessarily where to kind of wrap my brain around things or which thing to
You
focus on
managing all of
sometimes.
that because my exhaustion, mental exhaustion doesn't even allow me to wanna do anything outside of just having to go to work. That's how tired I feel. So I commend that you can juggle multiple things at this time because literally I come home from work, shower, and my iPad is there and I will play a game or something until I'll eat dinner, play a game until I literally go to sleep and start this over again the next day. That's how I know
Yeah.
I'm just like, and so how on
You're
earth
mentally checked out, yes.
are you
I
able to
think
juggle?
for myself, it's kinda twofold. A, keeping myself busy in a way keeps me feeling productive so that I can keep up because I know that this hustle hopefully will not be a long-term thing. It's
Right, right,
now I need to put in the work to get my business and my future where I want it to be. So that's part of it is knowing like just have to like hustle now so it'll pay off in the end. And the other part is, I mean, unfortunately, I can't really stop. Like, I don't have the financial, like, means.
no,
Like,
I
I
get it.
have
No,
to.
I'm with you.
I have to keep
Absolutely.
going. I have to pick up these extra jobs. I have to keep trying to make money with my business and keep trying to do all these things because I don't have a choice. Like,
Right.
and that's
No,
I think a
I
lot of people are
completely
in
agree.
that same, like,
Yes.
standpoint.
No,
You have
you're
moms and
absolutely right.
dads and whoever that's trying to, be there for their kids, but then, like, to put food on the table or to get them the newest pair of Nike shoes or whatever else, like, people are struggling to just try to you know, there's less of a pot to pick from to go to
Right.
everything that needs to be done.
No, I agree. I
I don't
definitely agree.
have a good answer because I feel like I don't balance things well. I'm just
I feel like you do.
every day just trucking along trying to figure it out. I
But you
literally
just
don't
keep on
know.
trekking
I'm just
away,
literally every day I'm just trucking along and being like, "We just
and
gotta keep
I'm
going.
like,
I can't
I
stop."
remember you having this overload of a feeling at one point in time. You've definitely overcome, whether you've overcome or either you definitely are able to show that
Yeah,
you've
I
overcome it.
feel like, I currently my nurse educator role, it's a two-person job because our department's
Yes.
just so big and so spread
Probably a
out and lots of things
three-person
going
job,
on.
and they need to consider that.
Yeah. So, but at one point I was doing that solo for like a year by myself
Right,
and I
right.
was literally, I was killing myself doing that because I was literally there all the time, like, trying to just stay afloat. It was awful. Like, it was awful, and I definitely got to my breaking point there, and I feel like there was a shift instead of giving 60 hours a week to that job, took a little bit of my life back. Like I obviously found a good relationship in my personal life, which definitely helps. And then
Yes.
I also kind of started doing these other side things so that 20 or 30 extra hours I was spending at my primary job now was being replaced with these other sort of projects that were more, I don't know if I'd call them passion projects, but more something that was mine.
Yeah.
Like,
More
I
support
know
for
when
what
I'm
you
putting
want. Yeah.
in, like, these extra hours now to film content or, like, push my business stuff out there or do these nursing education things or build these CEN costs or whatever, I'm doing, it's knowing that it's not for a corporation, it's for me and how I want to build my personal brand and my business going forward. So I also think that that's part of it is I'm working more working more now than I was, but I'm also doing things that are more meaningful to me than that corporate job is. And that is
So
not I
that's
don't love that
interesting
corporate
you
job and
say
I
that.
don't give myself to that job because I still do, good work and I still love doing what I
Absolutely.
do, but I'm building something that's truly like mine that if if that corporate job were to let me go tomorrow, like, nothing that I have done for them is something I can kinda keep and take with me. So, like,
Right.
I also feel like that's part of it is, like, yes, I'm freaking exhausted, like, I am just trying to truck along every day, but my purpose changed and my passion kinda changed a little bit too. I stopped giving to a place and started giving more
To
to
yourself.
me and my passion projects, so
But
I think that's
wouldn't you
also
say your current career, though, position is in line with what your passion is for your own purpose? I mean,
yeah, because it's and I think that's true because I love like, I got into my quote unquote
yeah,
"corporate position" because I loved teaching, I loved precepting, I
no,
loved doing all those things, so it
right.
was a good transition, and I've been able to take that kind of passion, but turn it around into something that is definitely not profitable for me
No, I
right
get
now,
that.
but I'm building it to hopefully one day not only do what I love and teach others and give back to people and impart this years and years of knowledge I have, but to also hopefully make a decent living for myself. I mean, that's the
Right,
goal. So
right. I see how for you it's definitely been able to, I mean, because I'm sure there was a point in time where you just felt like it's not that you didn't enjoy your actual job, but was it really giving you all the gratification that you were looking, you know what I mean? It was one point that and then you were seen, if that makes sense. All of a
yeah,
sudden, you were
feel like
seen.
that's
Does that make
hard
sense?
because it wasn't like, the company I work for didn't recognize me or my efforts. So, like,
Right,
don't get me wrong about that because I
right.
feel like they were. But, you can only go so far, and I not trying to say this in any way, but like I was really trying to push a lot of initiative. There was a lot of things I was trying to
For a
push
little
and do and, to make better for the system, but
No, I know
ultimately
that.
didn't go the way necessarily I wanted it to or how it planned to, and it was in almost that kind of, like, no mindset that I was like, "Okay, well, if this isn't gonna happen
Then I'm
through this way, I'm gonna pivot and I'm gonna be like, "Okay, I can still do this, but now I'm gonna do it on my own terms."
But I can
And
tell
I'm
you,
gonna try to make
I wanna let you know that I recognize everything that you were doing. I
Thank you.
do. Recognize it. I know people recognized it, and they I think that's when this level of respect. It seems like it takes a little while in certain roles for a level of respect to come. And that could be, I think something that probably just takes time is what I'm going to say.
I will definitely say that because even before that, before I was really, more into the system and stuff like
Yes.
that, even transitioning, like I was a bedside nurse,
Yes.
right? But I was at a different hospital within the system. And then I transitioned over to this educator role at a different hospital, the hospital I'm at
Right.
now. And it took me a while, a
I
long
know.
time to get the buy-in of the staff. Like, they didn't know me, I was an
Right. I
outsider.
remember.
So I
Yes.
had to get people to trust me, you know what I
Yes.
mean? And that
Absolutely.
takes
Absolutely.
time, and I think that that's just overall true for anything, hopefully people are, and I appreciate that people are skeptics. Like, you shouldn't
Yeah.
necessarily kinda like what Nurse Gary was talking about, like, you can trust but verify, and it's, like, kinda that same thing, like, you can say, "Okay, you're the educator, but, like, let me just, like, feel you out first before I
Right.
trust that information," and it's kind
Right.
of what I'm experiencing, I feel like, in a way with social media right now because I'm, kind of building along with
Yes.
MedMax EDU,
Yes.
building my kind of personal nurse educator brand on like TikTok and, Instagram. And it's that people have to build that trust of me that I'm giving them the information that's correct
Absolutely.
and current and relevant to them before maybe I get that complete buy-in. So I definitely see it's slow and steady growth that I've had with my social media. So
Yes.
I know it just time, and that's the one thing, right, we all freaking hate is waiting, and, especially ER nurses are terrible at waiting. So,
We have
I
no
think that's the
patience.
hard part. Yeah,
We don't have
we're
patience.
terrible
And
at it.
that is something that I am working on because we don't have a lot of patience. I am trying to work on realistically coping with how
Yeah.
things, are because coming from that bedside ER nurse into an educator role into something that it let's just say this, it's new. It's new not just to me where I am, but to everybody. So building trust with, one another. Like you know, you had to build, like you say, that trust with the staff, but not so much as the buy-in from the other side of it. Whereas when you're walking into something that's new and it's trying to take off all the way around and nobody really knows each other, it's trying to learn and get that trust for one another in all angles. So, what do you do when you
So
feel like that? Like,
so
because
but
you can't
that's the other.
carry everything.
No. That is the one thing I also definitely have learned is like I have 2 different departments. So I have like an
Okay.
adult specific ER and a pediatric specific ER, and they're separate. Like they are
Yes.
separate.
Right.
And it's very
Different.
different. They're different, but like one kind of side has more, kind of that like a autonomy, like they really are really good at like working together, but
Yeah.
also like
Okay.
kind of like if I have something or there's a need for education, like I am good with like passing that off and letting them take over. Whereas, the other side's a lot bigger. There's just a lot going
A
on over
lot
there.
going on.
So it's not
Right.
you're to kind of it's harder to do those kind of things. So, there's also just it's differences, and it's like you kind of have to adapt to how everybody else is doing things, but knowing that at the end of the day and this was probably my biggest lesson that I learned in my last 7 plus
Mhm.
years as an educator is at the end of the day, and I told you this before, but I'm gonna tell everybody else listening right now, is at the end of the day, that job is a job. Literally, that's all it is. It's a job. And if tomorrow came, like, and I was saying, they fired me, I got let go, whatever, something life happened, and I was no longer with the company, then they would move on and they would be just fine. They don't need
Yeah.
let me just say it that way, and I think that was hard because part of kinda like that hierarchy of needs is kind of that sense of purpose, like your sense of
Wanting to
purpose in the
be
world, like, I'm
exactly.
put in this world. God made me his masterpiece, which is like part of our Easter sermon. But God made me his masterpiece to fulfill a role in this world. And we tie
Yep,
a lot of that to our jobs and being like, do I have satisfaction in what I'm doing every day is making a difference and I'm, contributing
exactly.
positively to this world. I have something I'm passionate about and giving. And I think it was in that kind of, I don't want to say one moment, but it was in that where I was like, this is literally a job. And if I leave tomorrow, like, yes, they'll be
They'll
sad, but like they
they'll
will
replace you
interview
and
for
then
my
they'll just
position. They will hire somebody for my position and that job and that place will move on and will eventually forget me. Like, and like that's just the reality of it.
that's
And then
true.
once I realized, kind of that part of it, the more I was like, okay, then like I'm now going to build a legacy for myself that is not tied to one place.
Right,
So I feel like that's where I kind of had a switch of my mindset is I was like, I'm going to continue to do the things that make me passionate, which is emergency nursing education. I love teaching about this stuff. I love trauma. I love pediatrics. I love the whole thing, but I'm not going to tie it to a job. I want to make it part of who I am and my purpose in this world. And it's not tied to the company I work for. So
right.
I go in to my job and I do my job that they are paying me for. But it has stopped being to the extent where I was going like I was going way above and beyond. And
No,
I'm
I
not
get
saying
it.
I still don't take on extra projects or do other things. Like I
Right.
obviously do,
Of
but it's a
course.
job. It is
Yeah,
no longer a huge portion of my life. It is how I make a living to pay bills, to pay for the
absolutely.
electricity, to pay the rent, and to pay for my car. Like it's a means for me to live. I have now
Absolutely.
put my purpose in life into another avenue. And like I'm gonna tie it right back because me and Felicia are both very spiritual people to kind of like
Yes.
the message we talked about at my church over the weekend. I You guys will hear this a little bit later, but Easter weekend was just this past weekend. So we're filming a couple days after Easter weekend right now. And, Easter weekend is always that time as like Christians that it's that really, if it's the almost one weekend besides like Christmas, it's that one weekend we can really stop and look at our faith because it was the day they put Jesus on the
Jesus.
cross
Yes.
to die for our sins, right? He was tortured
Right.
tortured, tormented, just awful things were happening to him.
Yes.
And he stood there and took it because he was sent. His purpose in life was to come down here and to redeem us and to die for our sins so that we would have
Yep.
everlasting life.
That's
Like
right.
that was his purpose in life. And God is so good that
All the
he was
time.
resurrected from the grave, resurrected from the dead because God loves us so much and God has a
Absolutely.
purpose for all of us to do something amazing in this world. And like, if you're struggling, part of that I think you need to look at is are you doing what you were put on this earth to do?
Right.
And that can
Right.
be hard because that's not written anywhere.
No,
Like,
it's not.
that's something you have to kind of figure out, and as you build a relationship with Christ, like, you could kind of, like,
You
ask him, like, give me
absolutely.
signs. What am I supposed to be doing in my life? Because
Right.
you'll feel uncomfortable with things that you're not meant to be doing. And then once you kind of find that purpose, you get more of that clarity and that ease to it that like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing with my
Right.
life. Like, so that's the other thing is like God made us as masterpieces. He created us to be holy, amazing people to go out and do all these great things. But we have to be able to fulfill the purpose that we were made for and
Absolutely.
if you're not, that's I think also where you get that uncomfortability and that like soul like sucking kind of energy comes from if you're not doing what you were put on this earth for. So I think part of it almost for you kind of going full circle here is, I mean, it's terrible to say, but like your cancer has it served a purpose, right? It
It
has
did.
served a purpose because it united people. It
It did.
showed you your love. You were a vessel for just amazing things that happened.
Yes.
And I mean, to be a testament right now, I mean, we're speaking to, I don't know who's all going to listen to this, but we're speaking about God and Jesus
Yes.
Christ right now to
Absolutely.
whoever's listening to us because we decided to get this thing finally off the road and running because of your cancer journey. So, like, it all
Absolutely.
ties into everything here. And it's just like maybe what you're doing work wise is not your purpose. Maybe it was, or it was like a means, but maybe it's not your purpose anymore.
Or I thought about it, or is it that sometimes it's not that it might not be a purpose. It sometimes you can be kinda held back a little bit from what
Mm.
your purpose is, and you just kinda really, like, brought up a really good point with that. So, you know how you love to teach. So, it's gratifying. One thing that I noticed a change in me is every time I go over the EKG testing or something, how excited I get with just teaching and showing, that passion, even like when we're doing skills fairs with mega coach, that is a passion that I do have because I too loved to precept and teach people, things and figure out ways where they will remember it. And that could be part of the problem here is because I'm really not getting that
Yeah.
because there's a difference. Maybe like the hospital where you are, where you get a little more time where you can focus on that teaching aspect, which is what you love. Whereas maybe in some of the other hospitals, you're spending more time chasing or, you know, um, just trying to keep some certain things in order and you don't get that opportunity to really educate like you would like to.
And so, well, maybe that's it too. It's like maybe you found your passion, but you're not in the right
Sometimes
place
it's
to
just not
allow
in the
that
right
passion to be
settings or
ignited.
that's it. Right. Exactly. I mean, and I think I just realized that just listening to what you were saying, because as I often think about like, you know, God, what is your plan? I ask him, Lord, what is your plan for me? And let me tell you, I often hear that something I don't want to hear, which is, you got to sit still.
Ooh, 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 that's a good one, Felicia, because that is so hard, especially for ADHD.
You got to sit still. You have no idea how often I get that just keeps coming back, keeps coming back. And I'm like praying and I'm like, Lord, and I'm trusting in you. You have always guided me. I mean, look at this. Like most people with what I was diagnosed with wouldn't be here to even have a conversation or talk to anybody at this point. So I have to listen because that's what my father is telling me to do. I hear it all the time very clearly without wanting to hear it. You got to sit still.
Mm.
And it shows. Let me tell you, it shows me in multiple ways when I'm trying to do something other than sit still. It's like
Mm.
you're going to sit still right now. And that's kind of where it is. And that's where I, personally, in my own head have to be like, just sit still. There will be change when there needs to be change, and that is kind of like, something that I'm trying to work through. That's why I say I didn't want to call it like a burnout but I was feeling an overload, and it's not just from any one specific thing. It's just from it's from a lot of things. It's just an overall feeling of just like a slight exhaustion. I know I'll get past it. I always do,
Yeah.
but just trying to like figure out more coping ways to not allow. It's nothing that I am being asked or expected to do is anything hard. It's really not. It's not anything really that you put any type of stress. It's just overall I'm exhausted. And I think that's just from everything that I've just been dealing with over the past year. You know, it's just getting there. So I was just trying to see like how many other people just feel that combination of being just overload, and what's some things that we could do to not feel that way, Yeah, grateful that I wake up every morning. There's a lot to be grateful for, honey. My
Um,
CAT scan alone
oh,
is of the most high. Like, I mean, honestly, need to be on my knees every night, thanking the Lord, thanking him for all that he has done for me, for my family, for my friends, because you're right. I know I was used as a vessel for so many others, people I haven't seen in many, many years. Hundreds of people have been there for me, and God knows how to bring them when you need them. And this is something that I want to say, it may sound a little weird. And I actually had a conversation with another friend of mine about this. But what was supposed to be the worst time of my life was probably the best time of my life.
see, that's such a oxymoron, but it was so true. You were literally living your best life at the worst time in your life.
That's
Crazy.
wow. Wow. And it's true. Like, I am still in disbelief, like, just how people came from, I mean, that surprise birthday party. I don't think I've ever had a birthday like that last year. Just everything in every way since the first day of chemo, since finding out and all the love in the hospital and stuff, and just how it continues. So it has definitely been one of the best times of my life. Like, truthfully, even though it was scary.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, it's crazy, but
Interesting, like, you're getting that, like, feeling or, like, God's talking to you to just be patient. So, like
gotta be patient.
obviously, there's, like, amazing things around the bend here, so to speak, and God's, through other disciples, like, wait, like,
You just gotta
things
wait.
will be good, and you just gotta wait, but that can also be hard
It's hard.
on
Personally, it's hard.
especially in a society like we have today where it is kinda that hustle society, right? We kinda talked about that earlier where we're all just trying to hustle and kinda make it and to
Mhm.
rest. Like, that's almost like it's like almost frowned upon to just, like,
Yeah.
rest. And maybe that's where some anxiety is coming from too, is because, like, you're in or used to a society where you're just going, 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 and God's like, "No, I need you to
I need
just
you to
rest," and that just
I just need
feels
you to rest. See?
uncomfortable,
Yep. Yep.
you
I
know?
just need you to rest. I need you to like yesterday, I felt this abundance of just tiredness that came over me that I was like, I gotta go lay down. I'm never like that. I don't nap. I'm not that girl that's ever napped really, but times God will be like, I done told you, you need to rest yourself. You need to rest. And this is that time that you're going to do it. Because you're not going to believe that I almost talked myself from going from one place back to the other. And instead, I didn't do that. I came home. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I did. But I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You be proud. Because that tiredness,
God's also telling you there, like, you need to just sit
Yep.
the F down and
Right.
stop
So,
putting, like
it is like how you were in the beginning.
yeah.
Like, you're like and you're giving and you've told me, I can admit, you told me to prevent me from going through this, but I don't know if it's the ER nurse
It do
in
but that's,
us.
like but it's also one of our fatal flaws is we give really amazing advice, but we're awful
We
at
don't.
taking, like, our own or,
We
like,
don't
bad advice,
take
so
yeah, I don't know what would make any of us think that any difference it would be. Like, what benefit really would have been for me to just keep on going? Like, we had already worked, and then I'm gonna go and do more for what? For what? Really, for what?
literally
And
nothing.
I was like, I can't make it anyway. It was like God was like, "You're not going anywhere. You're gonna go home and you're gonna lay down. You need to because that's just how exhausted all of a sudden I came, and, became, and it was like, that's what's happening. You need to just sit down and rest,
Yes,
and I'm gonna do
literally.
it.
He's speaking to you right now and telling you that.
You got to sit
He's like,
down and rest.
"Relax,"
This
which is hard.
forces me, coming to do this part, it
Does it?
forces me, and I love it because I'm like, that is kinda how my life probably needs to be planned out 4 days a week. "Oh, you gotta be here. Oh, I gotta go," Other than that, I don't know why I think
I mean, if you want us to schedule a podcast every 9 hours, we could.
I'm just saying,
Get into limbo, like, we'll figure it out.
like, after weeks ago, I was like, "Oh my god, no, I gotta go." Like, you should see me packing up my stuff. I'm like, "Oh, no, that can't happen again," And that's how I think I view most things in like, "Oh my god, you gotta do," but not everything requires you to be that way. You know what I
Like, I
mean?
almost feel like God's telling you right now, like, he's telling you your mission right now is to just take a step back and rest. Like, maybe
Yep.
that's, like, your body needs that. Like, if God's telling you that, there's a reason for it, and you know
No,
that,
I
so
know. I know. I miss surrounding myself around people. That was majority of my life all the time. And I don't know if that's how I even more so thrived through cancer like this because the journey and the army of people. It's like don't get me wrong, there are times I like my time, but I love the interaction
girl,
with
okay, I feel like we need to have another, like, a dinner at your house or something.
right, like, I just love interaction, I don't know what it is, and sometimes I
You're
think
a
that's how
people
I end
person.
up in my shell. I'm like, I might be spending too much time alone, like, something. I don't know what it is, and then I go in that whole hole is what it is, and I'm like,
But it's
yeah, you gotta come
funny
out of
because
that."
I feel like me and you, we're like we talked about our birthdays are like a week apart. We're
Yes.
very similar. Like it's
Yes.
crazy. 'Cause yes, there are times where I get my little fugs too, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want anything to do with people. Like, nope. So I
Mm-mm.
feel you, girl. I know exactly what you're talking about. But if
You
you
know,
need to be
but
around some people now, we'll have to arrange like when your Anthony could give us some his good old cooking and
okay, exactly, that's what we need. We just gonna need some time.
It's Anthony by Anthony, whatever it needs to be. Both our
Whatever
Anth
it needs to be,
yeah,
we're gonna just need to
both our
have some.
significant others, her spouse and my significant other is
Yep,
Anthony, so it's
I
also
know.
another commonality that we have in common,
Look,
and they're both great cooks.
AG and
Yeah,
both AG,
I know.
right?
Yes.
Isn't
It's that's
see?
the other thing. God obviously brought us together too for a reason, like,
I
absolutely.
already know that.
Yeah.
It is so bizarre because I think about that more than you know. I'm like,
Yeah.
you never know because God brings people in your circle when needs be, when he needs to, right? He also removes people from your circle, even when you don't really understand why. But he
But you
knows
gotta let it because
because
it's his purpose. He's protecting you.
you know what? Because he hears things you don't.
Absolutely.
He hears things that you don't. So then he removes. certain people that aren't good for you at certain times. So I've learned over the years that people do come in our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. You
I
know,
love that. Yeah.
I love that saying, and people
Me
come in our
too.
life. There are some people that are going to be leaves off of a tree, branch on the tree, or the roots of the tree. And when you start thinking back, you will see, because leaves do what? Fall off the trees. So those are sometimes you think somebody is going to be there with you forever, but they may be a leaf or a branch. You know, branches break off, but roots, no matter what, they stay. The roots
Yeah.
of the tree are
Well,
right
you
there with
also
you.
saw like your tree of life and how deep your roots were in your, your time of need over the last year. So
Absolutely.
you're allowed
Absolutely.
to have these, times of just pure exhaustion. You've
Combine,
earned it.
overload. Combine,
Yeah.
overload.
Yeah,
Just
exactly. Because you've earned
exhaustion.
it and God's telling you that it's your
Just sit
time of
down.
rest.
It's just
Yeah.
time for you to rest. It's nothing more, nothing less. It's just time for you to sit it down and rest yourself. And you're gonna listen one way or another. Like that's really what it comes down to.
It's like I'm a
So
force you, I'm a force you.
the moral of the story, everybody, today is what you're feeling is okay for you to feel that way as long as we don't stay that way. Like,
Yeah, because
and
I
just
feel like
know.
we make jokes, right? We're like, "Is everything okay?" "Yeah, yeah, it's okay." I'm like, "It's not okay."
So
And it's okay for it to not be okay.
it's
Like,
not gonna always be okay.
yeah. Exactly,
You
it's
know?
not. It's a cycle. Like, we
It
all
is.
go through, like, these cycles. I mean, I don't know any person in this world who doesn't go through, like, cycles of, like, feeling down or feeling like whatever, and then
What,
they're like, back up
what's
and
my
back to
purpose? Or, you know, when you are, well, I felt, I'm sure you did too, as an emergency room nurse, I don't know what it was. It's almost like you felt like you had superpower. I don't know what it was. Just did. Like you definitely served a purpose. Like you
yeah.
helped save a life. I don't know what it was. And then so then I go through this feeling of, are you serving a purpose? Like, but you really are. I don't know what
And
we
that's
go through
even
that, but you are.
beyond, like, just, if we have non-healthcare people that listen to us, it's not just being in healthcare, like,
No. Anything.
your Anthony, my Anthony, they're both not in healthcare, but
No, they're
they
not.
serve purpose in this world. So,
We
like,
all have a purpose.
every single human being has a purpose, and if you haven't
Absolutely.
found yours, keep searching. Turn
Yep.
to your maker and ask him what your purpose is, and he will
Yep.
lead you
And
there
just ask
because
for
you were
strength.
made for a purpose.
Yep. Yep. Just ask for strength and just tell that devil get behind you, because sometimes the devil can be a little busy,
Ooh,
getting
that
in
devil,
our,
he works overtime. He's
yep,
he's the biggest
you know,
he's the biggest person who's getting
we
overtime every
yeah,
single day. Every day. Every day.
yay. Like he be having people wanting to walk out of work like we can afford it. I'm just gonna leave work. Knowing what the economy and everything is like right now, you can't even afford the gas. You put it in talking about, I'm just gonna leave. I'm tired of this. What you gonna do? Like seriously, put yourself in a worse situation. So devil, you need to get back. Like we are
Yeah.
not hearing any of that.
Yeah.
Okay? Not hearing it.
You
So
gotta push that devil away because he is a tricky, tricky man. He gonna be trying.
woo!
He's got lots of tricks up his sleeve, but
He's busy. He's busy.
he's a he's
He's
the
busy.
busiest one around. I love it.
Yep.
Well,
So
I mean, I feel like most of our like, it's been a lot of this podcast has been just kind of that, like, emotional kinda stuff, and so we don't really have that, drop our stethoscope moment because
I
we've
know,
been,
because it's been one drop, one
it's
big drop.
yeah, we really haven't, had to listen we've listened in, but it's really been a personal kind of conversation, which is fun because, I
It's
mean,
needed.
we started this podcast not really knowing what we were gonna do, and I
No.
feel like to this day, we still don't kinda know
No.
what's going on,
You take it
but
one
it's
day at a
fun
time
because, like,
and
Yeah,
It's
some
fun.
podcasts we have guests on and we talk and we chat and we
I love
learn
that too.
things, and other times, like, it's just us teaching about fun
Being
things, and then other times it's
free
just
and
me and
wanting to see
Felicia.
who else out there may be
Yeah,
just having that day, week, or whatever, and putting it out there. Somebody say, "You know what? I can definitely relate right now." But you know what,
so that's
guys?
the
We're always
other
gonna
thing.
overcome it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
we're gonna
I feel like
overcome it.
that's the other thing is, we've always been trying to keep it very real, and it's like, we're both just literally humans. We're both, like, just we go through days of struggle, we go through days of mistakes, we go through days where, we don't know what's if it's worth it anymore, if, we're down the right path, like, we're messy, like, sometimes, our hair's undone, like, we're people. We're
But we're
real. We're
human,
raw, we're
right?
honest, like,
Right.
but, the one thing I have to tell people to do, including you just show up. I think you just muddle
Just
along,
show
you just
up.
show up, because
Just show
that's where the
up.
devil will get you is if you stop showing up. So show up.
So that's true.
Even if you look like a
That's
hot friggin'
true.
mess, just show up.
So you know what my whole my stethoscope moment is because I'm about to drop everything I've been carrying that ain't mine. Okay, I'm dropping it. If it ain't, it don't need to be sucking the life out of me. That has
It
to
doesn't. I'm
no
telling you, it's if it's literally making you feel so bad, it's not worth it. Give that to
no
God, man. Give
nothing
it to God.
nothing
He can
is.
handle it. That's his job. Pray and
Yep,
he can handle it.
yep,
So
and I
I'm
truly believe it.
I'm sad that you're feeling this way, but I am very much relate to it because I've been there probably more frequently than I'd like to admit. Right now, I feel that steady state. I'm okay right
Right,
now,
but
but I
it's
have
just that
been,
I know that we
yeah,
as people go through that. And that is really why I wanted to bring it to fruition, like talk about it, because I'm like, I know that we all go, and then sometimes we just need to get back on the track. Like this is how I see it. We on a road, and sometimes we detour
yeah.
off the road. And we just need to get back on the road. Sometimes you detour and you kind of get a little lost, you know. But somebody finds you. So Brittany found me and put me back
Come
on the
on,
road.
come on.
See, come on, get back on the road, and then it's all good. But that's
Well, if
what
you
we
do
have to
you
do.
not remember we've talked about this in the previous episode too, where I was like, "You're, battling cancer," and I was just like, "No, I don't wanna go for my birthday," and you're like, "You're coming." So, like, I'm just saying, girl, it's my turn to be like, "No, come on, Felicia, we
But
got
you
this,
know
let's
what's
go."
interesting about you saying that is my Anthony has a tendency to say, like, say if something bothered him, and then he'll go, "I'm sorry, dear, I can't complain." I go, "Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It's who we are. You can complain if something is bothering you, you know." And I know it's not, but my motto, regardless of how I'm feeling, is if you can fix it, you fix it. Some things we can't, it's not in our power to fix. Okay. So if we try and keep that mentality, like, if you can fix it, then go ahead and fix it. No matter what. Sometimes it's not stuff we want to fix, but we can. Other things we cannot. So fix the things that we can fix. And as long as I stay focused on that, I detour, but then I get back on the road. And that's just the way
Yeah.
it is. So I feel better already. I mean, just
Like,
sharing it.
you're one of, like, the strong, like, you truly, like, you may feel weak at this moment, but you're truly, like, one of the strongest people I've ever met, and, like, it's been
Oh,
such an
thanks.
honor, like, that we've grown so close over these last, like,
We
7
have.
whatever years,
We
how
have.
many years it's been, and
Yeah. We
I'm
have.
so lucky and blessed to call you, like, one of my closest friends, like, I'm just
See, that's how I feel. And I'm
blessed.
like, it's interesting that she came to that hospital, but she
I
didn't
know.
know that honestly, and you don't ever know who you're really there for. I'm not kidding. Like you came to that hospital, you might think that you're really, oh, I didn't know I would meet this person and this is how this would be. Cause never would you see that, right? but God already knows, like, he brings people in your circle for a reason. You don't know that you're gonna need them or they're gonna be there for you down the line, but he knows. He knows, and
He's
that's why I have to
yeah.
continue to trust in God. Just anyway, period. I got a lot to be thankful for, but continue to trust in God, because he already knows.
Yeah.
You don't know he steps ahead of us
Oh,
already.
yeah, he's got a plan for our lives that we just gotta continue to put our faith and trust in him, and it's gonna all work out how it's supposed to work out, and I
It
think there's
sure is.
it's in a way, there's, like I since, I've really built my relationship and my faith, it's really, like, having this really crazy peace that just knowing that, like, whatever happens, it's all
Ready
in
in the
control, so, like, I don't wanna be dark, but, like, hey, if my whatever time's tomorrow and God's like, "It's done,"
That's
like,
not
it's done.
being dark. That is the reality. If it's your time, and that's one of the things I said. I said, if God was to take me away from here tomorrow, I have no regrets.
Yeah.
I've had a wonderful life
God's just ready for me
regardless.
to come home or for you to come
It
home, like,
my
I
it
am
means I've
so
done my
peace.
duty. Yep.
Yeah.
You have to be at peace with yourself and all, and you know what? That in itself is such a wonderful feeling. It really, really is,
My god, honestly, I'm not trying to mess around with it, it is the best feeling in the world when you can be at peace with your life because you're so
Absolutely.
rooted in your faith, then, like, the devil can't shake it. No matter what happens, like, I'm at
You
peace
get back,
because I
devil.
have a relationship with my father that my father, Jesus,
Jesus
praise
Chr
God,
yeah.
to know that everything's gonna be okay. I put my faith and my love and my trust in him, and, like, at the end of the day, it's his will. So,
It is
if
all
you
his
don't
wills.
have that feeling, get it.
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, I am living proof. I'm telling you, I am living proof. So, I just wanna thank you all. I hope that if only one person received it, then that's great, and tomorrow's a better day. Like, look at us, we blessed, we're here having this conversation, and now tomorrow's a new day, and all that stuff is now behind us, right with the devil. Get on behind us.
I can't wait for, hi, mom, I'm gonna shout my mom out because she's the one who
Hi, sis.
definitely
I
listens.
love you. You're the best. You're the best. I can't thank you enough. You're absolutely amazing person who raised an amazing daughter. I appreciate you. You are truly a God sent angel.
That
Thank you
that
for
I'm
everything.
accepting, I'm ready for your text message to tell me how much you love Felicia so I can pass it on to her.
Thank you, thank
And
you, thank
yes,
you. Yes.
yes.
All
So,
right, guys.
anyways,
This has been a
we love you
great
guys
we
all.
love you.
Thank you for
Until
tuning in
next time.
to us, and we will see you next
See
Wednesday,
you
and,
next time.
yeah, see y'all next
All
time.
righty.
Bye, guys.
Bye.